Brian with Wrenches and Rides, and we have a 2019 Polaris Turbo S4 behind us. And if you have any type of Polaris RZR, I believe it's 2014 and up, you have a catalytic converter that's sitting inside your muffler right here. That creates an immense amount of heat, along with the fact that Polaris has these machines running very, very lean. And you can see it in the exhaust pipe that goes back. We have very, very few miles on this machine, and it's already changing the pipe colors significantly, and you can see it heat soaking its way back to the turbo. So our goal in this modification is to remove some of that heat, allow this engine to breathe a little bit better, but not create any more noise. We want to keep the stock level of noise or less. That's very important for us on the trail rides. We don't want to be wearing earplugs all the time or disturbing others. So our choice for this was to go with the HMF Titan QS series. This is going to give us 2 stainless steel mufflers in the back, remove the catalytic converter, give us about the same back pressure-ish, maybe just a little bit less. So we're not going to have to put a programmer in this, but it will allow for a programmer if we'd like to upgrade that at a later date. Now we do have the full turbo back exhaust kit for it. We're going to try not putting that on in the beginning, although we don't think that's going to change any of the readings or the sound, but we're just going to give you an idea if you buy the muffler kit for the back, what it's going to perform like. So let's get into some of the stock noises so you have something to compare to. The stock sound meter on my phone said it's around 79 to 84 decibels. We're not going to look at the decibels and say that's exactly what it is, because I don't really trust that scientifically. We'll just say that's around what it came out to be with this exhaust. We'll put the decibel meter in the exact same place when we put the other exhaust on. We did some runs for you quick just to get an idea of what this sounds like, and we'll do the exact same runs with the other exhaust. Now let's get to the installation. When removing your exhaust, be very careful that it could be hot. This gets very, very hot and will remain hot for a long time. So use gloves when necessary and just be careful. Basically, all we're going to do here is remove the plastic bumper and the brackets that hold that on. There are 2 springs that hold the muffler in place, and when you go to remove them, I would suggest that you remove the bolts from the downpipe from the turbo, but hold that up into place. There's a flexible end on that pipe. If you do like what I did and remove the muffler, it will actually fall down a little bit. It's not going to hurt anything, but you might as well hold it up. You're going to end up holding it up later when you start to reinstall everything. The instructions for the installation on this are great. It's very easy to go through and install, and in fact I'm going to kind of move through it pretty quickly, because all you're going to do is remove all the other guards or anything, put the HMF bracket that holds the pipes into place, put their guards up, install their Y tube that comes off the downpipe, slide and level in the mufflers, and here's where the instructions kind of end, and this is where I want to spend some time. You're going to want to install spark arresters. None of us who are riding in the woods are going to want to start a fire. So these spark arresters that they send with it come with their own instructions that didn't come with ours. So to get those in, you need to remove the 4 bolts that hold these billet end caps on. And those are going to be where your little downturn pipes are going to be bolted on anyway. All you have to do is take a screwdriver and lightly pry them out. The billet end caps will come off, and that is where you put in your spark arrestor. Put it in place, slide that billet end cap back on, making sure that it fits correctly. If it hits on one side of the pipe, you will not be able to get everything in correctly. So just make sure that everything goes in straight and kind of use the bolts to suck everything into place. There is no lock washers on those. I would suggest using blue Loctite. This gets hot, cold, eventually they will loosen up. We use this kit already and you can see that it's hot from the little bit that we were out there running. That's normal. First, this machine's still very lean from the factory. What HMF, the system did here, did not lean us up anymore. We have a low band O2 sensor in it. It's going to take care of most of that. I don't think we increased the flow greatly like you would have if you just removed the cat from the stock muffler. So either way, however it goes, this material that's used is thin, just like the stock exhaust and just like just about any of the exhausts that you'll find out there on the market. The technology is getting better, the materials are getting thinner, so this stuff will heat up and change colors and keep that color changed. And in fact, at night you will see it glow because it is so thin. And you can actually see manifolds glow, you can see it on your car. There's temperature scales that you can actually use to see what colors and what blue hues you'll see. But if you get a chance to look at your turbo at night after a hard ride, it's pretty cool. So the machine here, decibel wise, I don't think it changed much. Phone is not going to be overly accurate. We might have seen half decibel higher. The tone is definitely lower. So in the machine, as you're driving it around, it seems the same, maybe just a touch lower and maybe a little bit more bearable. Turbo machines are inherently a little bit more quiet than the non-turbo machines, so I would assume this might be about the same on a non-turbo machine, if not quiet that down just a little bit more. This right here is the stock muffler, and this is the reason that we took it off. You can see the severe discoloration in this area, and that is exactly what where the cat is. I'm unsure of what these factory lines are on here, but there's dents and dimples and everything in here from this heating up and cooling off. So if you hear weird noises coming from this area, there's no doubt that it's cooling itself down normally, but you might hear some big pops in here as some of this stuff in the metal heats up and moves and expands and contracts. I'm happy with everything that we did here. I don't want an extremely loud machine. I need to cool some of it down. And what we can do from here is work with some other guys to maybe put a small tune on it to try to richen it back up a little bit. That will help cool everything down. We have a lot of options from here, but this takes care of one of the bigger issues that are out there with this machine. As far as heat in the cab, you have a radiator and everything else that's up front. You're not going to change the heat in the cab, but what you can do with this is change a lot of the heat that you'll see in the bed. In our prior Polaris that we owned, basically we called it the water heater because anything you kept in the back was dang near boiling hot by the time you stopped. So very cool upgrade, well worth the money. Everything is stainless steel, everything fits in there nice, everything is put together well. Maybe if we would have had the instructions on where the spark arresters go, it would have been a little bit easier, but other than that, looks awesome. Everything is just cool. For something that you expect the cool factor out of, this definitely delivered. So we appreciate your time watching this video, guys. Hope the sound clips and everything can help you out on what you might want to do with this stock muffler situation. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.